It's been about a year since brief mentions of an unknown illness in Wuhan, China were taking shape. And it wouldn't be until December 31st that the reports became worrisome. A week and a half after that, the first death was reported. And the early reports all said, we don't quite know what this is, but with 44 people now confirmed infected, we are pretty sure it isn't passed by human-to-human transmission. And from there, 12 months later, here we are, this Christmas Eve night. It's hard not to think of this night last year. Our sanctuary was packed with people, lanterns lining the sidewalks, a soft glow in the dark of night, a warmth of this space, the cheer of seeing friends and family, of gathering. Some of you I would only see once a year that night, but I can't make that joke now because for many of you, I have not seen you in person for nearly a year. And some of you are joining with your families here in this virtual space across the distance. There will be Zoom calls, opening presents online, doing the best we can. And if we're choosing safety this Christmastide, we're also choosing sacrifice. The sacrifice of distance. The sacrifice of not having our usual gatherings. The sacrifice of grief delayed. Some of us have lost family recently, or if this is the second year of a loss, or the third year, fourth year even, we really feel that absence. Some of us always feel that absence, and the nights are long these days. All of our sacrifices are unique. For me, I've not seen my family in a year now, and the list could go on. But the biggest sacrifice is not seeing all of you in person, of joining together in joy and delight as we sing familiar songs, light candles in the darkness, dig deep into our hearts and minds for that spark of hope, and venture into the night renewed by this gathering. And I'll go ahead and say, this is my favorite night of the year. You can keep the other holidays, and you can even keep the ugly Christmas sweaters, Miracle on 34th Street, even the exchanging of presents, eggnog and cookies. Keep all the trimmings. But Christmas Eve night in a Unitarian Universalist church, even now in this moment, I am not reconciled to the loss of our gathering, though we do our best. From our living rooms and kitchens, couches, laptops, and cell phones, there is much to love this night. We are a church of the human spirit, and the story rings out ever true. The words are heard again and again, and we know that it matters not if the story ever happened, but that there is a burning center that guides us through the dark of night. The songs and traditions, many written, composed, and brought to us to this nation by Unitarian ministers, remind us in the darkness that the light will always return. Christmas is a holiday deeply woven in our history, in Unitarian Universalist history. It runs deep, right into the bones. It's a marrow of warmth, comfort, and abiding delight. There is a saying amongst our Christian siblings that they are an Easter people in a Good Friday world. For Unitarian Universalists, that can be true too. But I like this better. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a Christmas people in a world searching for the light. We are a solstice people in the dark of winter. Against all odds, against whatever our history has thrown at us, we sing out in the night, kindling flames of hope, as if to boldly say, you cannot conquer our spirit's world. You cannot take our hope away. The Unitarian Christmas hymn, It Came Upon the Midnight Clear, sings to this enduring spirit. And thou beneath life's crushing load, whose forms are bending low, who toil along the climbing way and painful steps and slow. Look now, for glad and golden hours come swiftly on the wing. Oh, rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing. And so, there is a loss in this time. Sacrifice. We rejoice in this year being over, and yet we know next year there is still a rough, perhaps long road ahead of all of us. The night gives us a moment to rest beside the weary road and strain our hearts and minds for the songs of angels. For us as Unitarian Universalists, angel song is this connection. Right here. It's choosing hope. It's reaching across the distance. It's both resting in the darkness around us and the silence, for they can be good, and lighting candles still. For life is not just darkness, and it's not just light. It is both, always. This year has given many of us a confrontation with some hard realities. Here it is, right before us, the inequities of the world. The cries of justice became loud and clear. Over 320,000 empty chairs across America this evening, nearly 2 million worldwide, and there's more on the way. Mortality is a constant companion these days, and we could keep going, couldn't we? Some of you might even be thinking, even on Christmas Eve, I can't escape this. Thanks, Reverend. But that's another risk of attending a Unitarian Universalist church. The story we tell this Christmas night is a story about each and every one of us. What is your part in its unfolding? Are you searching for a star, a point of light and hope to guide you on your way? Are you bringing gifts to the world or being called to do so? Are you a worried mother, father, parent, sibling, cousin, uncle, aunt? One of the inhospitable innkeepers, perhaps, or maybe the innkeeper who made room in the stable? Or are you feeling like a newborn, vulnerable, amazed, terrified, full of possibility and yet utterly dependent? Maybe you're one of the stable animals blissfully chewing on hay. Enduring stories such as this, such as the Christmas story, means we automatically have a part to play. It's up to us to figure it out. That's what makes the stories enduring. And I say it each year, and I mean it. The story of Christmas still has within it a power in this moment. Perhaps even more so now. The night around us is deep and wide. It has been since March, and it will continue. But behold, behold, a winter star sets in the west, an event that will not happen again for 400 years. And behold, Orion hangs brightly in the sky, and the 7 sisters of the Pleiades chase the evening. And right here on this good earth, we can still light candles. Distant, but together. Flames of hope, flames of possibility, flames of abiding delight, flames that remind us to never give up, to sing our songs, to connect with others for what is life without connection, and to believe in the power of this story, for it is our story. And so we light candles, candles in the darkness. We Unitarian Universalists are a Christmas people in a world searching for light. And we can only light a single flame ourselves. But together we find a warm glow illuminating the deep well of night. And so if you haven't already, grab a candle. The days grow longer. There's hope in our midst. Vaccines are on the way. Some of the chaos in our nation is passing away. Many of us are figuring out how to be a justice-seeking people, even now in this moment. And this church has done wonderful things this past year. And so we light candles this night in memory of the sacrifices, of grief delayed. We light them for one another, fragile and wondrous beings that we are. We light them for right now, this moment, with one another. And so, be not afraid. The good and the true are stronger than anything that stands against them. The darkness is vast truly, continues A. Paul Davies, but across it there is a path of light. And so life calls us onward, and we kindle flames in the darkness. Blessed be. Amen. And so here we are, this festival of light and hope amidst everything that's happening. Each year we hear this familiar story, we celebrate the customs, we light candles and sing carols. We hear the story through different voices, different religions, different circumstances, and still we hear a common theme, that light will vanquish the darkness, that hope will always prevail, if only we believe. And still, Even then, each year, the cold winds of winter come, and the nights grow darker. We learn of great joys, but also hold the sorrows of the year. The sorrows faced by ourselves, the sorrows faced by the ones we love, the sorrows faced by the world around us. Sometimes a year comes and passes, especially now, and we wonder, how much more could this year have brought down upon us? Grief and loss touch our lives in small or impactful ways, and the nights grow darker yet. But how do we engage a world with so much need? Whether it's confronting racism, the politics of fear, the hardness of a nation's heart toward those in need, a global pandemic, political unrest, or all the justice this world is seeking. Each time we turn on the news or open the papers, there can be a sinking feeling and the absence of hope. So much to do, so much to hold, so much that we are a part of, no matter how we try to distance ourselves. And still, the nights of winter grow even darker. And even if we do not want it to happen, year after year we find moments before us where there is no hope to be found, no sparks of renewal, no way forward. We hit the wall of the longest night. It can feel like the brightness of the stars has been vanquished. The fire in our hearts is clinging to embers, and joy and peace and goodwill are impossible things to find. And then the night settles in, and we wait in the darkness. And then we wait in the silence. In the moments of wintry night, let us know that there is nothing to fear. For in darkness and in light, there is the promise of human goodness, of the universe bending toward justice, of peace and harmony. But when the night of winter grows long, with the days rushing past, with the demands of our lives and of the holidays pressing down upon us, we may find our souls aching for respite. May we take a moment to search through the darkness. Let us search knowing that there is a hope to be found, that there is a gentle kindling of flame we can yearn for, that there is the possibility of Christmas, whether in a newborn baby, a star to follow in our hearts, or a moment of peace. When we find that moment where hope is rekindled, may our hearts and minds pause, knowing that from the darkness there is goodness, and into the light there is goodness too. And we may look up into the night and go, behold, a star shines from above. From the stories of old on this Christmas night, let there be light. Let there be light for all of us who are searching for hope on this Christmas night. With all of our worries, our fears, our wonderings, and the uncertainty that awaits many of us. Let there be light for the oppressed, the forgotten, the people of our world crying out for justice, for refugees, for immigrants, for strangers and loved ones alike, for huddling masses at our borders, for huddling masses in our communities, for all who seek a new beginning, a new life. May we know and do our part to not let them be alone in the darkness. Let there be light for our leaders. May our faith leaders comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, and bring good news to all who need it. May our elected leaders be mindful of their responsibilities to the people, to their holy obligation to serve others first and not themselves. Let there be light as we hope for peace and justice, for compassion over greed, for understanding over the sharp divisiveness our country and world is still experiencing. Let there be light, for we cannot let ourselves continue to wander and wonder without hope. And if we are lucky, the flame that is kindled, that spark of hope, the promise of this gentle flame will spread. It will start slowly, spreading to those whose lives we touch. It will course through the hearts of those around us. People we do not know, people we have not met or will never meet. People in need of sanctuary, in need of this story, in need of its power. These are the fires of Christmas, the passion of our hearts, and the true gift of the story we tell year after year. A story that speaks softly to all who will listen. Peace, be not afraid, I am with you. And we tell ourselves this story as we wait in the darkness. We discover sparks of hope again and again, and we tell this to ourselves so we do not forget that we are not alone, that we can find new hope, that there is a peace in the waiting and a peace in the renewal. Flame kindles flame, possibility returns. The star of wonder burns brightly in our hearts on this silent Christmas night.